Welcome, everyone. First episode of our mini series interviewing social work professionals for the NABSW Social Work Month Social Media Takeover. My name is Adachi Selas. I'm a first year MSW student at Howard University, and I'm also a new member of NABSW. The purpose of our takeover this month is to celebrate Social Work Month and embody the theme this year, which is empowering social workers. My guest is TLee. We actually met at an NABSW event earlier this year, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to collaborate. So thank you for participating.
Yes, thanks for having me.
To begin, if you could just introduce yourself and talk briefly about your career in the field of social work.
I have been actually active in the social work field for probably, I'm going to say 4 years. I think I did the math correctly. Yeah, I had to put my license on hold in 2016 while I went to go live abroad in Switzerland. DC is one of those places where you are required to be under the supervision of a DC licensed social worker. And of course, there was none of that where I was going to go live. And then when I came back in 2019, I reactivated my license. And of course, that's when COVID hit, right? And so I got a job in 2020 doing telehealth. Graduated in 2016, got my license, all that, moved, had to put myself right on hold, came back right when COVID. So about 4 years I've been active. When I came back, I was telehealth, mental health therapist. That is what I do.
Thank you for sharing that somewhat unconventional journey. I think it's really important to show that the social work path is not a linear one. There's a certain way, of course, that you can do things, but if you have a change of plans, it can still work out. So there are going to be two questions that we'll be asking our interviewees throughout this series along the lines of this year's theme of empowerment. The first one is, what does empowering social work mean to you? You can say on a personal or professional level.
What empowerment means to me is pretty much the definition itself. So how you help others to be their best selves, to give them power and authority to do so. That's what it means to me.
Awesome. And how would you say the work that you do empowers the social work profession or other social workers that you may work with or your clients?
So my clients, I would love to say that I'm helping them to feel empowered to feel their emotion, right? To let them know that they are not the only ones who feel a certain way, to destigmatize any mental health, maybe battling, challenging, whatever word we want to use. Also substance abuse, and also to show up as themselves, because majority of my clients are also Black or people of color. It's okay to be yourself no matter where you are. When I worked in the school, it was empowering parents to be able to advocate for themselves and their children. That was my job, and I am there for them. Give them the words and the authority. This is your child, and we are here for you. We work for you.
Right. And we always want to make sure that we are, a part of that team and giving people a voice. I think that that self advocacy skill is something really great to learn. So that's awesome. And last question, as a professional with a full schedule, what advice do you have for fellow social workers to accomplish that work-life balance?
It's like we learn in school. It's like we learn in school to tackle a little bit at a time. I am one of those people who don't have and didn't have a lot of people in my support group. It was taking it in shifts. With my husband, he does this and then I do that. Also learning to incorporate, we're going to say it, the challenge, right? The challenge of being a parent. How can you incorporate your children into your schedule? Even, your schoolwork that you have, can that fit into what you need to do when you go volunteer? Well, if you can knock out two birds with one stone, let's make that happen. And then we have our routines of self-care, making sure that you do that every day, every night, and that will make it go that much easier.
Yes, self-care is so important. I think that is one of the first things that they said to us when we arrived at Howard. Good advice. Did you want to talk about your YouTube channel or your podcast?
Sure, thank you. I have a YouTube channel. It's called RealRam TLee, T for my name, TLee. My channel is pretty much to help people with destigmatizing what they think about social workers. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the life of being a military family and veteran, and then anything that may come across my page or my way from the lens of just being a Black person, being a Black family, Black woman, and we talk about that. I do interviews of other people, and sometimes I'm on there giving a rant. I rant about something that may be happening right here in DC, or just something that happened nationally from the viewpoint of this Black woman.
That is so cool. And I think definitely that could be another way too of empowering, because you're giving people a platform to share their stories.
So RealRam TLee.
Cool. Okay, well, that is where you can find her. Thank you so much for your time and being part of our social media takeover.
Yep, thank you. And be sure y'all join our chapter.
Yes, ABSW Metro DC.
Really moving places, always on the low.